I'm so glad you guys all are here. Welcome to Planning Together, where every week I invite a friend on to share with us how they are organizing their life and their heart. So if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe notification. And you guys, oh, I should probably tell you my name. My name's Darian. It's so nice to meet you if this is your first time here. But you guys, I'm so excited to have Holly from Dash Plans with me tonight, you guys. Holly currently lives in Northern California. She is a stay-at-home mom to three beautiful, sweet babies. If you haven't seen them, they are so beautiful. Lucas, who is 4, Naomi, who is 2, and Mason, who is 7 months. Y'all, not only is Holly a planner, but she's into cycling and reading and hiking. Holly's gonna have to help me with this whole hiking situation. But y'all, she got into planning not for productivity, but to become more aware of how she was spending her time and her energy. And her main goal right now is just to fill her cup and her family's cup. Y'all, so go ahead and light up those comments and help me welcome Holly to Planning Together.
Hi, thank you for having me. Hi, Darian.
Thank you. How are we all doing tonight? Go ahead and let us know in the comments how you're doing. Holly, can you start us off? How has your day been going?
It's been going good. It went by quickly, and yeah, we're doing good. Good Wednesday.
A good Wednesday. A good Wednesday. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, Holly, I didn't let you. I know I had told you beforehand what I wanted to chat with you about, but I did not tell you about a game that we usually play every week here at Planning Together. It is. You're like, oh goodness. This is the planner challenge. Well, I'm still trying to figure a name for it. I just know I like asking these questions, and it tends to be a lot of fun. Okay, so I have some questions for you, and you have to pick one or the other.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Okay.
Ready.
Rings or discs?
Rings.
Black pen or blue pen?
Black pen.
Fun or functional?
Functional.
Okay. And then stickers or washi?
Stickers.
Okay. Post-its or what was that? It was Post-its or sticky tabs, which are kind of the same thing. Transparent or non-transparent? There we go.
Ooh, let's do, non-transparent. Yeah.
Non-transparent. Okay. And then this is why I have my list. Where's the other one? There's one more. Y'all, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Oh, it was coil or bound.
Ooh. Well, after seeing yours, I'm going to say coiled. That looks really cool. I like the coil. Yeah.
Planner caddy or planner cart?
Caddy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the last one, cloth and paper or infinity lotus?
Cloth and paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's always a hard one. I was curious because I know that you have a very minimal and you have a whole aesthetic. Okay. Okay. So speaking of that aesthetic, I have brought you on here because you have literally I think I remember seeing these photos of people posting and it was like hashtag planner box. I'm like, what's a planner box? And then they were tagging in it. And so I went to your page and I was like, what in the world is this? Is so new. So can you tell me a little bit about what the planner box is?
Yes. So the planner box is basically your storage, and I'm not going to say for all your planner items, but for your favorite planner items, your go-tos. So how I like to think of this is, let's say you're going out of town, you're traveling. What would you take with you to plan on the go?
Okay.
So that is what the planner box is. It's all your essentials in one little spot. Just something easy to walk around with and plan wherever you want to plan. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So my question for you with your planner box, is that all your planner supplies, or do you have like another place for your planner supplies, or is within your planner box all your supplies?
That's all my supplies. Yeah.
So how did this whole thing start?
Okay. It honestly started the beginning of the year. So the room that I'm currently in, my husband moved in because
Mhm.
he had to start working from home because of pandemic. So our space was dwindling and dwindling, and we had a new baby, and yeah, just there wasn't any more space all of a sudden. um, so I thought to myself, okay, so let's just minimize. So when I first started, I put everything in bins that I wasn't using, and I filled up quite a few bins, and I put it away in the garage. And I was like, okay,
Okay.
let's just put this away. And then I picked out my favorite items that I use daily, like things that I just love and adore. I put it in a box. I tucked it away in my room. And yeah, basically, whenever I plan, which is usually on my kitchen counter, I just grab my box, put it on there, and I have everything in one little space. And even though it's not, I don't have my desk anymore and my, my storage, units, it works. It's exactly what I need for this point in life right now.
Oh my god. Listen, you guys, okay, can we just let's just talk about this. Holly. Eat, Pray, Plan says, Holly is so inspiring. I completely agree.
Oh,
Cynthia
and
said, this is really inspiring to me already. I'm fascinated. You guys, do you see my
oh,
smile? I'm so fascinated. Like, this is amazing because I think so much. I personally, I know I sometimes get on Instagram and I see these amazing planner rooms and bookshelves and desks and walls, and there's like massive cases of stickers, and I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful. But I'm like, also like, oh my gosh, that I don't think I can ever do that as well. Like
yeah.
I'm like just my cart right here behind me. I'm just like, I thought I was doing something, right?
Oh my goodness, that is funny.
So when I seen that you were only using this bot and that held everything, I was like, what? That's so cool. Okay. So rewind because I got so ahead of myself to ask you, have you always been a planner? Have you always like been into planners? Have you always been a minimal planner?
I have. Okay, so first I was a minimal when in college. That's all I used was a little notebook, and I had my planner. I would get it like at Target for maybe $8-10.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it came with like its two sheet of stickers. I did that through college, and then after I had Naomi, my second, I got into planning again because I needed it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was not a minimal planner. I
Okay.
was a I was a decorative planner for a full year with the Happy Planner.
Okay.
Yeah, so I definitely did not start that way. I started with a lot of stuff. I was the one buying everything. So like when there was a new release, I was that person that was like, "Okay, time to go to Joann's, time to go to Michael's," and hunting for these stickers. So yeah, I was not always a minimalist. Definitely no.
Okay. So did the start to minimalism start when your husband needed to have the workspace, or was there something that inspired or triggered you to start
So
minimizing your planning supplies, or was it a whole life situation, or was it just specifically when it came to your planner supplies?
so you're right. It did start prior to this year. The actual like box notion started around February, March, but the minimal lifestyle, I think it started around November of last year. It was just me realizing that like decorative planning was becoming overwhelming for me. I enjoyed it for that year, and I made a lot of great friends and connections, and I loved planning as a decorative planner. And then it got to become too much, and I was realizing I was spending a lot of resources, not just money, but time and things like that. And it's something that I just phased out of, and it
Mhm.
wasn't working for me anymore. So that's when I found cloth and paper. I had no idea there was a minimalist um, community. I had no idea. I thought it was
Mhm.
just the Happy Planner. So that's when I transitioned into minimal planning. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. My brain is going 1,000 places. I told you it would. So, can you tell us, for anybody who doesn't know, what minimalism is? Like, How would you define it?
So I came up with my own little definition.
Yes, own definition.
With or in my mind how I explain it, because minimalism, like many things, can mean very different things to each person. And I think for each person, it's important to create, their own definition for it, because it can be very extreme. Minimalism, there's a lot of areas. So for me, minimalism is owning items that I use. So not just functional, but what I use, that functional part, what brings me joy as well.
Okay.
So that other end, like the happiness and the exciting part as well. And keeping true to my style. So that's where I got stuck in the planning world, was seeing other people's styles and wanting to be exactly like them and buying exactly the same planner as them, the same inserts, the same everything. And I lost kind of I don't want to say my identity, that's very dramatic, but I lost
your planner
my
identity.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So that's, yeah.
I
Having
love that.
just what you need.
I love that. I love that definition. And you're like using what I have and it bringing me joy, that I don't think I've ever looked at it from that perspective. And I completely agree with you about having to have your own definition of what that looks like. First off, I just got to draw you to these comments real quick because they're cracking me up and also really great. Myra completely said, happy planner will have you buying all the things. Claudia said, EC also. I'm with y'all. You're not alone. I brought all the things. Heck, I still buy all the things, which is why I'm talking to Holly, because I'm hoping she can help me out, y'all. Myra said, teach me your ways of that fade out. And then everyone is agreeing with you about, yes, you have to define minimalism for yourself. Yes, Raina, I agree. Minimalistic planning is different for everyone. Planning it simple said, yes, I used to be that person going to find all the happy planner stickers, and I phased out of it as well. Oh, I love this. Finding and embracing your own style is huge. And so I love this. So Holly, what would you say how did you say that you found your style? What was how did you go about finding your own personal style and what worked for you?
That's so true. Okay. Oh gosh. So when I first found cloth and paper, it was a lot of the black and white, and it's beautiful. It's classy. It's chic. I loved it. And I paid almost $200 for I think it was like the black leather from cloth and paper. I forgot what it's quilted.
Oh, that caviar the caviar leather agenda. Listen, girl,
it's beautiful. It was beautiful, but once I got it and I was setting it up, and I was like trying to make it look like someone else's setup, and I was like, oh my God, this is not me. And then they came out with their saddle, which is that very creamy brown color that gave me all of the just calm, earthy kind of vibes, which is me, which is, I love plants. I love taking care of plants. I love hiking. I love greenery. I love trees. And I was like, that's me, that's my style, even if it's not the norm or what everyone, because the black and white is really popular. So I was like, I like the warmed home. So yeah, that's who I am. And that's, I think, why I love my planner so much. And I don't want to try another planner right now, because I picked something that works for me. I'm not trying, because we see in the community a lot of beautiful planners and setups. And, if you keep trying to be someone else, you're never going to be happy with yourself.
That's a whole word right there. Yes, Holly. Yes. I'm just letting that marinate for a second. So what planners, because I'm just gonna be all over the place. What planners are you currently using? What are your? I know you saddle.
Yeah, so just A5 and the personal saddle. So they're both the same, just different sizes. And
Okay.
A5 is just purely for budgeting and
Okay.
home life. And then my personal is my baby. That's like everything me. Like just how do I explain it? It's like my wellness and my mental health, physical health. Um projects that I'm working on and that I enjoy
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I love all of this. Okay. Y'all are lighting it up in the comments, and I am here for it. Hannah said, agree. I'm totally a decorative planner, but collecting things I won't use is something I'm working on for sure. So, my question for you, Holly, is because I'm also a decorative planner. So, what would minimalism maybe look like for someone who maybe isn't into the minimal aesthetic, but they want to maybe bring the same things that you're doing? You get what I'm saying? Like for a decorative,
For
yeah, for
decorative
a
planners.
decorative
Of
planner,
course. Yeah.
yeah.
I've actually worked with like 3 of my happy planner friends because they saw me transitioning, and they love the happy planner, which is great. You stick with what you love, but they liked the idea of not being overwhelmed and having less. They wanted to have less. Um, so what I told them about boxing because I actually did a boxing system with the happy planner. So I picked my favorite sticker books and my favorite planners and my favorite tools and put them in a box. I told them to do the same thing with their decorative planning. And this is like a huge thing to remember. I'm not telling happy planners to throw away anything. Don't throw away anything. What I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is the things you notice you're not using that often, put it in a box, put it in your garage, and let it sit there for a few weeks or a month, and have your favorite stuff in front of you, your favorite stickers, your favorite, whatever goes into your favorite washi. Have it in your box, whatever you're pulling the most. That's going to help with your overwhelm, like a lot. And I notice because I did it. I would spend hours a
Mm-hmm.
night decorating my planners, doing that whole thing, hours, because I'm rummaging and looking at everything, and I would like freeze. I was like, oh, this is overwhelming. I don't I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, honestly, just have like a little, and it can even be your cart. It doesn't have to be a box. Set up your
Mm-hmm.
cart. Just downsize, and it helps with your planning, both functionally and decoratively. You can have both. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that. Y'all, Holly is dropping so much like information. I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. Chris said Holly is the queen of the saddle planner. Yes.
Oh, I love you, Chris.
Hey, Chris. You Pray Plan says, I struggle with this because I love the black planners, but feel pink looks so pretty when you photograph it. Yes.
Mhm.
Raina said, I did black and white thing and realized that I needed some color in my planner. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, I love this. I realized I need to plan for me and not Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Hannah said, it's so hard not to want to copy all the pretty community planners. I don't need everything. Yes. So my question for you, Holly, is how do you decide what to buy and what not to buy? Like, how do you discern that?
Oh, okay. So, oh, this is a tough one. I mean, I'm a shopper. That's just in me. I got it from my mom. Um, Honestly, when I first jumped into minimal planning and I was following people and they were posting things like their hauls or whatever they bought, and I would click the link because they always
Mm-hmm.
tag the shop. I would go on and shop and buy, and it was very impulsive. So
Mm-hmm.
we all get that pull. We just had Black Friday, right? We
Mm-hmm.
had the Black Friday sales. We all felt the pull. Okay. So before, I think it's just being realistic with what you need, because I'm gonna admit to something, and it's embarrassing. So on Black Friday, so there's a planner shop. I don't want to say the name, but they released beautiful 2021 inserts. And mind you, I already have my 2021. I spent a lot of money on these inserts I already have for next year.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the new ones and I had that impulse to like, oh, those are beautiful. I want those. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to buy those and spend another $100 on inserts. and they're from a different country and I'm paying $24 for shipping, I had that impulse. It was in my cart, and
Yeah.
I had to breathe. I had to stop and say, that's my wasteful side coming out, because
Mhm.
I was about to waste a lot of money because I saw something I thought that was better. And I sat on it. I was like, forget about it. Put your phone away, walk away. A couple days passed by and it was done. It was like that impulse urge, kind of like with any addiction or habit.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it sit and let it pass and we'll make it.
Oh, I
But it's
love it.
really, yeah, just choosing. I don't want to say just things you need, because there's things that bring us joy too. Like I like charms and things like that. They're not
Mhm.
functional, but they bring us joy. But I have to sit back and ask myself, okay, I might have enough charms. Like, you don't need another charm. It's really personal to you and your money situation. I mean, it's not just the money aspect, but your space and your peace. So when you're bringing something else into your space, is it going to keep bringing you joy, or is it just more stuff? So
Mm.
it's different for each person, but that's just my way of thinking right now.
I love that. And Raina, I love what you said. She says her desk drawer is like her box. She only has things in there that she's actually using. So it doesn't necessarily have to stay in a box. It can be in your
Mhm.
desk drawer. It can be in a bag, however you want to use it. I love that. Y'all are so
Thank
awesome.
you.
And thank you so much. You guys are so kind. Thank you for the really sweet comments you guys are leaving. And it looks like, okay, so FOMO is real. I completely agree. I struggle
Yes.
with FOMO so bad. And I love the idea of turning off your phone, leaving it, and going to sit with it. I
Yeah.
love that idea. Okay, so you also have this amazing thing that you started. I believe it's the 365-day freeze. Can you tell us can you tell us a little bit about this freeze and what made you want to do the freeze?
Okay. Okay, so the freeze is basically a three. This is for me. This is what I'm doing. But I'll explain how you can make it your own, but because it's intense. I'm going 365 days without purchasing any planner related items.
All those emojis of the brain exploding should be going off right now. Like, that's how mine is. But I'm also like prayer hand, also like, yes, girl. Okay. I'm listening. I'm listening.
um, yeah, it's insane. It's intense. But since this is something I had to do now, because I'm realizing the reason why I left the Happy Planner, it's not the brand or the people. The reason why I left it is because I was very wasteful, impulsive, and spent too much money. And then I came to the minimal side, and my habits were repeating on this side. I was
Mhm.
wasting money again, being impulsive, spending too much, and my old habits were showing up again. So I was like, okay, I really need to rein it in. Why not just not buy anything for a year?
Mhm.
I have everything I need. I have my dream planners right now. I have my dream system that works for me right now in the season. And that's just how it came about. It's just kind of finding, um, being content with what I have,
Mhm.
because there's always going to be something new being released. There's always going to be something I want. But why not just sit back and focus on my planning, my system, and what I have right now? Um, and just creating my own sense of peace without
Mhm.
spending all the money. And yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But for people like that want to do the 365 freeze doesn't have to be a complete no spend for a straight year. A freeze could literally be your action of freezing, sitting with it, and really asking yourself, taking that emotional side out and asking
Mhm.
yourself, do I really need this? And coming up with your definition of what you need, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's functional or a joy. Or even coming up with your own budget per month.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just really looking at that side of your spending habits. And this is only for people that feel that sense of grief after spending. That's, some people don't feel that. If you're happy, you spend your money, you enjoy it, you enjoy planning, you enjoy having all the things, keep doing it if that's bringing you joy. But on the other spectrum, my spectrum, I was feeling guilt, and I was never finding that comfort in planning because I kept wanting more and needing
Mm-hmm.
more, changing my planners, and all that. So that was a long answer, but yeah, that's it.
No, that was so good. And I feel like you literally just, I mean, you opened the minds to so many different people. Like the comments were like going, and I love that. A lot of people were just like, oh, like either yes, and some people were like, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
Listen, but I love what you said about the freeze not being a complete halt on your spending, but maybe it looks like you just freezing, or maybe it looks like you deviate, like take not spending, so like you give yourself a budget each month on what you are spending.
Yeah.
This is so, I'm like, y'all. Yes, Cynthia says I'm tempted to. I have been feeling overwhelmed by my things. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Chris said I have picked apart Holly's ideas for her freeze, and I'm definitely implementing them into
Oh.
2021. Chris, I'm curious, which ones of Holly's ideas are you implementing? I'm very curious. So let us know in the comments which ones you're implementing. Hannah said, I'm going to freeze on new planners. I have what works for me and I don't need to. I love this, Hannah.
That's good.
I love this
Mm-hmm.
because I think I also know Hannah's very functional. And so it's just like not putting a freeze on the stickers and the things that make you happy, but like on the actual
Yeah.
system and not buying I think that's a great example.
Yeah.
Yes, planning can become a real addiction. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Grace says, I'll be joining the 365-day freeze. I think my only exception is my birthday. Okay, Grace, I'm so glad you said this. Exception. Holly, can you talk a little bit about exceptions and rules and how if someone's like, okay, I'm trying to set boundaries, what questions should they maybe be asking themselves or thinking through when it comes to like the exceptions that they should be setting?
Of course. I hope so. This week, I hope I can release. I'm going to create like a freebie insert of it's kind of like a roadmap
Mm-hmm.
to like a yes or no spending on your wish list. So, like exceptions are personal to each person. So, for example, I technically do not have any exceptions, but right now for what I'm doing, but I've had people ask me like, "Oh, can I do this or can I do that?" That's the fun part about an exception. You get to create your own rules, but at the same time, you want to be intentional. So, let's say, like, that was a great example. Her exception was that her planners, she's done. She's like, but my exception is I can enjoy my joy items still. Anyone could, you can have the same exact rules for yourself. If something runs out or if you notice something's dwindling, that could be an exception. Like, okay, I need to, re-up on this. I'm going to go shop. Um, I think the biggest thing is sitting down and asking yourself, why, if you do want to do a freeze, why do you want to do a freeze? What's behind it? If it's a
Mm-hmm.
money thing, then that's where your budget exception should happen. Like, oh, I'm going to give myself 25, $50, whatever it could be a month. To buy whatever I feel I need, whether that's a functional item or a joy item. Because that's the thing. I don't want it to become miserable for people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to think, oh, I don't enjoy planning anymore because I can't spend money. If you're finding joy in purchasing new items, then keep that within your system. But if you're feeling stressed from overspending, then give yourself a budget. I think that's the biggest thing for me is make it your own, because a lot of people were quick to react to say, that's impossible, that's crazy, I would never do that. And that's fine if you're in your own personal life. What you're doing right now is working for you. But for people that do want to make a change or feel that burden of spending too much or that that feeling of not being enough with their planner,
Mhm.
that's when you just really need to sit down and ask yourself what rules work for you. And it's so broad. I mean, yeah, that's a tough question to answer, but I hope I help some people
That's
who are
so
pondering.
helpful. I think that's so helpful. And y'all who are listening, comment below and letting me know if you are thinking about this, what rules and exceptions are you thinking through? Because I know I was talking to Megan from Meg Got a Plan on Instagram, and we were talking. I was like, I love this idea. I just know I cannot do a complete no spin because I'm like,
Yeah,
I got my stickers bring me so much joy. They bring me so much joy. So I was like,
exactly.
well, maybe we set a budget. And so we were talking through that. And I love that. And I love your heart to just say, make it your own. And someone had said this, and someone said, I will try a 3-month freeze, but I need accountability. How are you going to hold yourself accountable? Like, what things have you done to create accountability for yourself within doing this?
So we did start today. It was very random. I created a Facebook page. I still need to do an intro and do all that stuff. Rebecca from Eat Pray Plan is actually co-hosting it with me, the Facebook.
Yes,
So
Rebecca.
yeah, so if you guys want like accountability and you want a group that is more about empowering you and saying, hey, you got this, that's the group to go to. Because I know there's a lot of groups about spending your money and showing your hauls, but this is about saving your money and finding peace within your planners. Yeah, that would be a great group to try because you guys can bounce off each other with ideas. And if you do join the group, I know it says 365 freeze, but don't let it deter you from joining. Even if you're doing a month freeze, a 3-month, whatever it may be, come join us and we can pick each other's brains.
Mhm.
But I think the biggest how I'm keeping myself accountable is my biggest thing is my tracker. So like what is it called? Save Not Spent. I think that's a tracker. Um, and writing down everything. So there's been a few times I've been on my phone and like, oh my gosh, I really like that. And I'll screenshot it and I'll save it to an album in my
Uh-huh.
phone. And what I'm going to do monthly is I'm going to go back, look at all those items again, and delete the ones that are like not exciting me anymore. So whether it be inserts, stickers, whatever it may be, I'm going to delete them off my phone. I'm going to do that every month. So if you're seeing things that are bringing you joy or you want or whatever, screenshot them, save them on your phone. Don't add them to your cart. Don't check out. Sit with it for 30 days. And then what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a live once a month on my Instagram to show you guys my list and how it changed after a month. And then at the very end of the year, so when my 365 days are up, I'm going to have a full list of things that I still want, whether they're joy or functional items, that I sat on through the whole year.
Mhm.
So it's gonna dwindle. I mean, honestly, there's things that I really wanted a month or 2 or 3 months ago that I don't even remember now.
Mhm.
So, and that left money in my account and space in my box. And I think that's a good idea because um, you're still, you're not just saying no to the item, you're saying maybe. You're saying, I'm going to wait on it.
Mhm.
It's not completely depriving you.
Mhm.
So I think that's the biggest way I'm going to hold myself accountable um, with the impulse purchasing. Yeah.
That
I'm very.
is so good. Like, how did you come up with this? Like, I'm just like, the way your brain, like, I'm like, that's such a great idea. Like, that's, I was like over here, like, wow,
I
wow, wow,
have
wow.
random like in the middle. I still do middle of the night feedings with my son, so I'll have my phone on me and I'll jot down random ideas, and some of them are good, I guess, at 3 in the morning. So
Hmm.
just go with it.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Julie, cloth and paper happy hour is always the exception. That happy hour
It's
will
like
get you. It will get
my
you.
week, your week, and that work. There's some people that spend money daily. I've had people message me and say, like, their credit cards, they ran up because they were spending money daily on planner items. So some people, that's a huge goal. I mean, once a week spending, I mean, that's amazing too. I don't care what your like span is. If you're improving, like whatever you were starting off with, and then you're improving it with a week, once a week, that's huge. Yeah.
Yes,
That's
yes,
big.
yes. And you guys, I put the Facebook group that they're talking about, I put it down below in the description box if you're tuning in on YouTube. So if you're like, oh, I got to join that group, go ahead and click that. It's in the, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Cynthia, yes, I have to get more disciplined about my financial goals. And I know planners and my budget need to be pulled back. Cynthia, listen, we just going DM because I feel like me and you we seeing eye to eye. I'm with you on that. Yes, yes, yes. Someone said, will you put your tracker back in the shop?
Yeah, so I took a break on I have this very little Etsy shop. It's just little printables, but I put a little break because just right now is probably my craziest time of life. This month, December is pretty crazy, but I'm going to open it back up on January 1st because I like to be able to give my full attention to whoever purchases and stuff like that. So I just put on a little break.
Okay. So that is coming. I love this, Myra. Myra said I had to unsubscribe to some of my favorite shop emails after Black Friday. It was a lot. Yes. Yes, Myra. Yes.
Yes.
I agree. Someone said she's wise beyond her years. I completely agree. I agree. And then someone said, I unsubscribed from all subscription boxes this month. I find that they are full of fun items that I never use. I'm trying. I need to be intentional. Hannah, I love this idea too.
That's huge. That is so huge. I was a cloth and paper subscription. I did it for 3 months and I found myself, I mean, there was like 1 or 2 items that I loved, like I loved. But the rest was going to waste because I was realizing it wasn't my style. So definitely, if you're having sub boxes that you're not vibing with or you're kind of wasting items, feel comfortable unsubscribing. But if there is a few people that join my group that are still doing their subscription boxes, but they love it. They look forward to it. So don't let the freeze or whatever like take away your joy. Keep your joy. If your sub box is your joy and you love it, keep it. Because honestly, a lot of the people that I connect with on Instagram, their hobby, like what they spend a lot of money on, the only hobby is planning. So, that's their investment. So, if that's what brings you joy and that's your hobby, then totally stick with it. I'm not saying I don't want to rob people of happiness. I think that's the biggest misconception with the freeze and with the planner box and the minimalism is, oh, she's going to rob me of everything. But no, it's just honestly, I wish I could shout it from the rooftop. It's just, I've never been calmer or more happier personally until I just minimized and made things simpler. So I still spend money, or well, prior to this, I was still buying things that brought me joy, but yeah, it's just less is definitely more in my world right now.
I love that. I love that. And I love this question that Rebecca had said. What other ways can we support small businesses if we are doing the freeze?
Yeah, so many ways. What I did, because I have a lot of friends that are shop owners, I linked all of their websites in my Instagram. So I was PRing for 4 shops, and I removed myself from all of them because I didn't feel it was fair to promote buying items and receiving free items while doing this freeze, because in a way that was not, I wasn't fully behind my mission. So I removed myself from them. But what was nice about that, instead of just having my PR links on my Instagram, I have everyone now that I love, that I've tried. I mean, a lot of business owners that I've shopped with that I adore and that are amazing human beings behind their product. And I have about like 10 to 15 shops right now, and I'll keep adding as I can. But definitely share. You can share their items. And when I was PRing, or when I was doing that stuff, I wasn't telling people what to buy. The focus was, hey, I love this product. I'm using this way. You may like this. And that's how I want to continue to share on my Instagram. It's never going to be, go buy this from this person. You need it. It's going to be, look what I found, or look what this person released. It's amazing. Check it out. If it will bring you joy, or you want it, or functional, or whatever, go check them out. So I think the number one way is keep sharing shops, because other people can see, and they can get more, what's the word? I can't remember, but they'll get out there more. Sorry.
I love that. I love that. And it sounds, you and Cynthia are like right on it with each other. She says amplifying their social media posts is one way to support. Just giving a vote of approval, even if you're not shopping that sale or at that moment. And I love the idea that you put them in your bio. And I just think that's, I love that. I love that. I love that. Julian had asked, considering everything that you have, what can't you live without in your planner? And they just joined your community group, it looks like.
Awesome. Oh gosh, considering everything that you have, what can't you live without in your planner? Oh my gosh. My answer is going to be too broad. All I can think of right now are my inserts. I have like a lot of digital, like, you know, the printable that I had custom made that are specific to me. So I would say my custom made inserts are my world. Yeah. I'm sorry if that was boring.
No,
boring answer.
Really ain't boring. I love that. I love that. Okay, Myra, I completely agree. She says you need to put, I'm not trying to rob you of your happiness in your bio. Completely agree. Completely agree.
Oh my God, that was perfect.
It was perfect. Myra is on it. I love her. Rebecca, I love this idea. I'm gonna create a highlight, like creating a highlight of like your favorite shops and those small businesses that you want. Oh, I love that. I love that. Y'all, these ideas are so amazing. Y'all get me so excited. Okay. You guys get ready. If you have any questions that you want to ask Holly, get those questions ready. Because y'all know I can keep talking. Have there been any influences, any resources that have helped you when it comes to minimalizing your planning style? And I know, is this just for your planner, or have you adopted this as a complete lifestyle?
Oh gosh. So the influence actually happened last year. I was watching The Minimalists on Netflix, and they were showing how they became minimal in their like home life. So I was doing that in my home. I donated about 500 to 600 items for my home, and it sounds like a lot, but they say the average American owns like a ridiculous amount of items, like over 22,000 items in their whole home. Like if you counted each thing. So yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but it wasn't too crazy. So I minimized my kids' spaces, like toys, clothes, like even furniture. I got rid of all of our dressers. I know it sounds weird. It sounds
so
crazy.
What did you use instead of the closets?
So the closets. So we had a lot of functional space in the closet. So I have those like my son's bed has 2 pull-out things.
Okay.
So his clothes fit in there. Naomi has the storage containers. So I put her little clothes in there. And then we have built-in shelving in our master closet. So I got rid of all our dressers to create more open space for all of our rooms. We live in California, so we live in freaking boxes. So we need all the space we can get. So yeah, so I did it with home life. I did it with my kids. Not extreme minimalism. Like there's extreme. It's family minimalism. And then it trickled into my planning. So I was like, oh my gosh, it was giving me anxiety while I was doing my minimal thing. All the stuff I had, I was like, okay, so now the planning. So that's what started it, like the ball rolling, was seeing, yeah, my house became calmer when I got rid of all my crap. Cleaning was easier. Having my kids, they're 2 and 4, and they can pick up their rooms easily now, like in 5 minutes, and not wasting money on stuff. So yeah, it started with the home, and then it trickled into planning. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so someone had said, the toys multiply overnight. And then Myra said, the toys seriously multiply overnight. I've started if a new toy comes in, the old one has to be donated.
Yep.
Come
That's
on.
so good. And you're teaching your kids giving. You know, I think like now during the holidays, my kids, the first thing we're doing is shopping, they're not telling me their wish list. They're
Mm-hmm.
little, so this is different, but we're looking at toys to purchase and give to, like, we have Shriners Hospital, a lot of, hospitals around us, in
Mm-hmm.
Sacramento. So we're shopping for toys to give instead of having a list of 20 things I want and more stuff I need. We're focusing on gifting, picking gifts for other people. And
Mm-hmm.
for them, I tell them, you guys can each pick one gift. So my son wanted like a truck, and then my daughter wanted a little playhouse. So I'm going to purchase those one big items for them, and then clothes, because kids have enough stuff, like birthdays. It's insane. So I don't want to get into that.
I'm like, go ahead and get into it because I feel like people are like, go ahead, girl, go ahead.
That's a whole different beast.
What would you say has been the hardest part about minimizing? We'll say specifically within your planner supplies. What was maybe the hardest part about it?
Oh, honestly, it's not the hardest part for me was community. I was
Mm.
really big with the Happy Planner, and it was really hard for me to, like, because honestly, our community, we're friends, even though we're social media. It's our community, and we're friends, and we are bonding over planning. And when I announced that I was not going to be a Happy Planner, I was going to be a minimal planner, it was scary. I felt like I was going to lose friends. And then I realized like who I actually did connect with, and those friendships shifted over to minimal, like Rebecca, Eat, Pray, Plan, a beautiful minimalist past Happy Planner. So that was honestly the hardest part for me. Getting rid of stuff was not hard for me. It's the community part. I deleted my whole account because I was like really overwhelmed, and I felt like people wouldn't. It was so strange. I deleted my whole account and just restarted because, yeah, I felt like, I don't know. I felt like I would lose connections, and it was kind of like that. Like, oh, why are you doing that, or why are you using that planner? And it was so strange to have those questions. So, yeah, the community part was hard.
Oh, I love that. I, not the fact that it was hard, but the fact that you jumped right back into it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I jumped. Stayed connected with my Happy Planner friends that I was close to, and that were cheering me on and weren't really, like, some of it felt like attacking. It was really interesting. Not from direct Happy Planner friends, but people from the community kind of not understanding, I guess would be more of a better way to explain it. But, and me having to explain myself to people became a
Mhm.
little too much. So I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to do me, and you can do you.
At the
Or
end of
us.
the day, I'm going to do you. You can do you, and y'all just be kind. I don't get. Just be kind. Come on, just
Yeah.
be kind. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. This is a great question. Crystal had asked, what is a good place to start when trying to become minimal and planning our home minimalism?
So planning, a good place to start. Oh, I'll give you a good answer. I did this both with my home and with planning. I threw everything onto my living room floor that I owned. So, like when I was doing the kids' rooms, I threw all their crap on the floor. Sorry, I'm saying crap. That's a bad word. Threw all their stuff
You're okay.
onto the floor. And yeah, and I told them, what are we giving away? Blah blah blah. But the planning, that's what I did. I threw everything on my kitchen table. Take everything you own, lay it out, go through it. Because half of it you're probably not even using, or it's not bringing you joy. You're not touching it. It's nothing's going on with it. What's not sparking anything for you, put it in a bucket. Put it in your garage. Let it sit there and focus on the items that you're enjoying right now. And then you're going to slowly, you're going to notice this. Slowly you're going to notice, I don't really like that. Why is that still? And you're going to go put it in your bucket. Oh, okay. No, I don't want that. And it's going to get smaller. It's an addiction. It gets smaller and smaller because you start to realize what you really love about planning. And I love my dashboards. I love my Post-it notes. I love my pens. You start realizing the little things you really adore. So definitely start there. Don't throw anything away. Put it in a box, put it in your garage, and start there. Yeah.
I love that. Y'all, she said, don't throw anything away. And I feel like someone needed to hear that, because if you're like me, I'm like an extremist. Like, I'm like, okay, I tried.
Yeah.
Fun story. When I first got married, my husband and I had a ton of books, and I read a book, and it was like, we spread out all the books, and I was like, asking this question, does it bring you joy? Does it bring you? And he's sitting here like, they all bring me joy. They're books. Like, they all bring me joy. And I think I made him get rid of like a lot of books. And still to this day, he reminds me of that. But we probably shouldn't have like gotten rid of them completely. I wish I just put them in a storage or the garage at the time.
Yeah.
So I love that idea of not throwing them out completely. Just put it in your garage. Is the stuff still in your garage?
No. Everything, that's all donated. Like a lot of people ask what to do with it if they realize after a month they really don't need it. Family and friends were the first place I started. And then after school programs, I worked at an after school program in like when I first started college. So they would take like notebooks and markers and pens and all that. But literally, I'll show you. Literally everything in my
Please tell me. This is what I've been wanting to see right here.
This is everything I own is right here. This is everything. And my planners. That's it. There's no bins, there's no drawers, there's no hidden box under my bed. I'll walk through my whole house in video for anyone that is questioning. There's nothing. Everything is in this box that I own. Yep, everything. Yeah.
I love that so much. And Nuseba, I'm so glad I'm not the only one that would have done that. So yes. Everyone's like, OMG. Oh, wow. So who else is going to go through their thing?
Like I took my top off.
Elsa, like, yes, I need to go. Like, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to take all my things, spread them across the floor, and go through them. Okay. Not hidden under my bed.
I've done that.
Okay, Claudia, I'm curious. What's stressing you out about this? I'm very curious. What is bringing you, like, I'm just curious because I know anyone who's listening to this may also be feeling the stress as well of like, what, like, I can only imagine. So I'm very curious if you don't mind sharing. And while you're sharing, I want also you guys to let me know what has been this time goes by so fast. What has been your biggest takeaway from tonight? Let us know in the comments. And while you answer that, I want to ask Holly this last question. What lessons has this year taught you, and how are you using them in your planner?
Yes. Oh, gosh. Okay. This season in my life right now, this year has taught me to give myself grace. Prior years, my planner wasn't serving me how it should have been. I was very to-do list. This is what you have to do. This is how you have to keep up the home. This is what people expect of you. If you want to be a good wife, a good mother, you have to do all these things. And this year taught me that I did not have to do any of those things. I did not have to keep up with the laundry. I did not have to keep up with the dishes, and all of this stuff. This planner shifted for me, and now it's, how am I filling my kids' cups and my cups? Right? Simultaneous. It's not, everyone's not going to be happy all the time. 2020, I mean, that's, everyone's noticing that right now. Everyone's life has shifted, and we're all realizing that it's just a hard time. But my husband and I, when we first heard about this and it started, we told each other, we promised each other, we're going to make the best of this situation with our kids and with each other. It's not going to be how we expected, but we have so much to be grateful for. Our 3 kids are healthy. My husband still has a freaking job. He can still support us. We still have a roof over our head. I mean, there's a lot of sad things happening right now, and there is a lot to be grateful for, even though our worlds blew up. You have to sit back and realize that. Could be, a lot to be grateful for.
That gift of gratitude. For me, it always comes back to gratitude. And the one thing about gratitude is that we all get to participate in it. We all get to participate in the gift that is gratitude. I love that. I'm like, okay, we're done. Okay. That was so good. Okay. So y'all, I love y'all so much. There's going to be a surge of paper items and donations.
In the buy-sell trade.
Buy-sell trade, yes. I have so much stuff to the stash, but there's no local planner meetups happening right now. It's going to be epic when we can. Yes. You do not have to throw stuff away. Destashing is okay. You don't need all the things, Crystal. Yes, Crystal. Same. I would like to give away a ton of things at a planner meetup so I can free up storage. It's just too much clutter in my office. Big takeaway, I do me. That's so huge to me. It's only 5 letters, but it's such an eye-opener. I can do what I do because I like who I am. Just wow. I love that. Good. Myra's biggest takeaway is minimalists can be defined by you. Same. Han said, be intentional about spending. Think before adding to your cart and sit on it for a while. Don't rob yourself of your happiness. Have your own style. Love what works for you and brings me joy. A lot of people agree with Hannah's takeaway. Rebecca said, this is a process. Come on, Rebecca. It's a process. It takes time. It won't happen overnight. Find why you want to do this and be grateful for what we have. Yes. And then we have tonight's takeaway. Thanks to Holly. Trying something that sounds scary because you're not used to it doesn't precisely mean it won't be good in the long run. Just try that. Decide as you go. Yes. There's no right or wrong way to plan minimally. Y'all, these are so good. Exactly. So good. Okay, Holly, where can people keep up with you? Find out what you're doing. Where can people follow you at?
So I'm just on Instagram. I like to just stay. That's my happy place. I tried YouTube, but Instagram's my happy place. The only thing is the Facebook group that was just started today. It's very new, but that is hashtag 365 freeze. And there's a link in my bio too for that, so you can easily get there. But those are my only spots. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, y'all. Thank you for joining us in the comments and showing up this week. Y'all, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Y'all are fantastic. Thank you so much, Holly.
Thank you, Darian.
Oh, you're so wonderful. Bye, y'all.